Welcome to the AMSCO 2500 Washer Disinfector In-Service Training Program. The AMSCO 2500 is part of the AMSCO 2000 series of washer disinfectors. STERIS has developed this program to help you learn how to properly operate and maintain your AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector. The AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector is intended for use in the cleaning and intermediate level disinfection of soiled reusable general surgical instruments, cannulated instruments, non-invasive medical devices, wash bowls, utensils and basins, and other similar and related articles found in surgical environments. This equipment is built to keep up with the speed and productivity of the most efficient surgical centers. It's a low-maintenance machine designed for ease of use and maximum uptime. A true workhorse with fast cycle times and low water consumption to help save on utilities. We're confident you will find the washer disinfector to be easy to load and unload, and the updated controls to be easy to understand and use. Decontamination is a process that physically, thermally, or chemically removes potentially infectious organisms from surgical instruments and devices, making them safe for handling, use, or disposal. Decontamination consists of two main procedures: cleaning surgical instruments and devices, and disinfecting them for safe handling before they are further processed and then terminally sterilized. Cleaning is the most important part of the decontamination process, because an item cannot be disinfected or sterilized without first being clean. In accordance with AAMI ST 58, STERIS recommends that you wear appropriate personal protective equipment when working in the sterile processing area. Refer to all equipment manufacturer recommendations on cleaning before processing surgical instrumentation. Also, make sure you understand and follow your department's cleaning and decontamination policies and procedures. Let's review what we've learned in this segment. Cleaning is the most important step, removing all soils and debris from instruments and devices. Always wear the appropriate personal protective equipment. Always follow your department's procedures. Before you begin operating your washer disinfector, it's important to become familiar with the location and function of the major components and controls. Let's start with the loading and unloading features. The unit is equipped with one or two front-loading drop-down chamber doors. The doors are provided to facilitate loading and unloading of the machine. On the load side, you'll notice an icon-based control screen for performing various cycle operations. We'll cover the functional aspects of the control screen in a moment. The load side also contains a USB port, an on-off switch control, an emergency stop button, and access panels for performing maintenance. On the unload side are indicator lights, two acknowledgement push buttons, an emergency stop, and, if selected, an optional printer. If you're using the single-door model, your unit comes equipped with all load side features. Now, let's look inside the chamber. The high-quality stainless steel chamber is equipped with a removable debris screen and rack manifold coupling. The debris screen prevents large debris from entering the piping system and pump. Equipment to be washed and disinfected will be placed within a 3-level manifold rack. The rack contains spray arms, lumen flushing hoses, and distinctly sized levels. Now let's talk more about the control system. The AMSCO 2500 is equipped with an icon-based touchscreen control system that displays current status, the current chamber temperature, and the remaining cycle time. It enables 4 pre-programmed operating cycles for processing a variety of loads, as well as a decontamination cycle. Additional cycles are available for operator custom programming of special cycles. There are 3 operation modes: the cycle mode, which is always available, plus the supervisor and service modes, which are password protected. Supervisor mode allows the modifying of pre-programmed settings, as well as date and time, enabling printer functions and setting operating language. Service mode allows a qualified service technician to access and configure the washer disinfector and perform preventive maintenance, testing, and troubleshooting. Next, note the series of status lights and confirmation buttons on the unit. Double-door units are equipped with 4 indicator lights: green, yellow, red, and blue, plus 2 confirmation push buttons on the unload side. The green light indicates the cycle was completed and the parameters for disinfection were met. The unload door can be opened to remove the load. The yellow light indicates that the auto-sync cycle has been completed and no guaranteed thermal disinfection took place. The confirmation button next to the yellow light must be pressed to acknowledge that PPE should be worn while opening the door and handling cleaned items. The red light indicates an alarm was triggered. To silence the alarm, press the button next to the red light. Then, use the touchscreen control on the load side to acknowledge and resolve the alarm or abort the cycle. Illumination of the blue light at the bottom of the optional printer indicates that there is no printer paper and it needs to be replaced. On single-door units, the same conditions apply, but actions will be taken using the load side touchscreen. The 3-level manifold rack, seen here, is designed to hold general surgical instruments, non-invasive medical devices, utensils, and other similar articles. Each level can hold up to 2 trays. The rack comes standard with easy load wheels and 6 flexible hoses. Each flexible hose is connected to irrigation ports to allow processing of cannulated instruments. Let's review what we've learned in this segment. We covered loading and unloading features, major components found inside the chamber, the control system display screen, green, yellow, red, and blue indicator lights, and the 3-level manifold rack and its capacity for various sized instruments and trays. In this section, we'll learn how to run through a cycle. But before we do, let's get familiar with the more common icons and functions on the load side touchscreen. Supervisor mode. Press this button to access the Supervisor mode login screen. Service mode. Press this button to access the Service mode login screen. Save. Press Save to save a selection or a modification and return to a previous screen. Close. Press Close to exit a screen and return to the previous screen. Left or right arrow. For forward and back navigation, press left or right arrow. Select cycle. Press this button to select a cycle to start. Start. Press Start to start a cycle. Instrument. This button selects the pre-programmed instrument cycle. Utensil. This button selects the pre-programmed utensil cycle. Auto-sync instrument. This button is used to select the pre-programmed immediate wash cycle to process surgical instruments. Auto-sync utensil. This button selects the pre-programmed immediate wash cycle to process basins and wash bowls. Decontam cycle. This button processes the pre-programmed locked decontamination cycle. Abort. Press Abort to interrupt cycles. Silence buzzer. Alarm buzzers can be stopped by pressing this button. Acknowledge. This button stops the alarm buzzer and acknowledges the displayed alarm message. It also confirms entry. Alarm detail. Press this button when you want to see more information about the alarm cause and corrections needed. Details. Press this button to view current cycle data parameters. Progress bar. The progress bar is displayed on the chamber screen to show the cycle progress. Now let's get ready to run a cycle. First, ensure the appropriate cycle parameters are set in the control screen before beginning operation. Turn the door handle and open the chamber load door. Pull the manifold rack out of the chamber and onto the chamber door. Place the items to be processed onto the rack, setting larger items and trays on the bottom level. To connect cannulated instruments to the flexible hoses, first, locate the flexible hoses already connected to irrigation ports on the 3-level manifold rack. There are 2 flexible hoses on each level of the rack. Connect each flexible hose to each cannulated instrument. Ensure the proper connection and placement of flexible hoses within each tray to avoid damage to hoses and/or cannulated instruments. Manually rotate the spray arms on the rack to ensure movement is not obstructed. When finished, roll the rack back inside the chamber and close the chamber load door. Be sure to turn the handle so it closes completely. Confirm the appropriate cycle is displayed on the Ready screen, or press Select Cycle to choose a different option, then press Start. In a typical cycle, the cycle in process screen is displayed throughout and shows the estimated time remaining to cycle completion. As the cycle progresses, an operator can press the Details button to view current cycle data parameters. Cycles include a pre-wash phase, a wash phase, a rinse phase, a thermal rinse phase, and a drying phase. Our cycle is now complete. It's time to unload the washer disinfector. Upon completion, a confirmation screen appears on the control screen and the Cycle Complete green indicator button illuminates. It's now safe to open the door. Carefully pull the manifold rack out of the chamber. When finished, roll the rack back inside the chamber and close the chamber load door. Be sure to turn the handle so it closes completely. And, with the USB electronic cycle download feature in the supervisor menu, it is easier than ever to collect cycle data and maintain a paperless work environment. Next, let's cover the AutoSync cycle. AutoSync can be selected from the cycle screen for quick turnaround items. Once selected, press Start. The cycle countdown screen appears and the AutoSync cycle runs. When complete, the controls confirmation screen will state that cleaning has been completed and disinfection was not included, and the yellow indicator light will illuminate. The operator must take the appropriate safety precautions and press the Acknowledge button that they are wearing appropriate personal protective equipment before they can open the unload door. Sometimes, there are occasions to interrupt or stop a cycle before it's complete. If a cycle needs to be aborted for any reason, press the Abort button on the touchscreen, then hit Yes to confirm the abort sequence. A supervisor password might be required to abort a cycle. Once the abort process begins, the unit drains, briefly vents, and the display returns to the cycle screen. In the event of an emergency, press the Emergency Stop button. This button is for emergency purposes only. Do not use it as a Start-Stop button. In case of emergency, the Emergency Stop button instantly stops the operation, unlocks the door, and triggers an alarm. Doors can then be opened manually to access the chamber. It's important that the washer disinfector remain in the on position at all times, except when performing maintenance or repairs. In the event of a power failure, the power up sequence begins when power is restored. If a power failure occurs during a cycle, the cycle must be aborted once power is restored. Doors cannot and should not be open unless the cycle has been successfully completed. In the case of a power failure and it is necessary to open the load door, call a qualified service technician. Let's review what we've learned in this segment. Identifying the commonly used icons on the touchscreen. Running a typical full cycle and proper loading and unloading procedures. Running an AutoSync cycle. Proper steps for interrupting a cycle. To keep your AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector in excellent condition, it's important to clean and maintain it regularly. Remember to let the washer cool down before you perform any maintenance. A maintenance schedule can be found in Section 6 of the AMSCO 2500 Washer Disinfector Operator Manual. Where indicated, some maintenance activities should be performed by a qualified service technician. Let's review the components and their respective maintenance activities that you'll need to perform on a daily, weekly, or as-needed basis. Behind the access panels contain some important components that will be part of your routine maintenance schedule. On the load side, 3 chemical injection pumps are included in the washer disinfector. These pumps automatically add cleaning chemistry during cleaning and disinfecting cycles. One of the pumps is dedicated to the lubricant to be injected during the thermal rinse phase. Check with your supervisor about the types of cleaning chemistry allowed for use. A HEPA filter, shown here, filters incoming air to prevent contamination of the load. On the unload side, the dryer blower helps to dry the load and remove moisture from the air in the chamber. And the circulation pump assists in circulating water through the recirculation piping and the spray arms. Professional standards organizations recognize the importance of monitoring your mechanical and chemical cleaning process. STERIS recommends using the Verify All Clean Test Washer indicator on a daily basis. After the last cycle of each day, Clean the debris screen located in the bottom of the sump. Here's how. Allow the washer disinfector to cool down before reaching into the chamber. Carefully open the chamber load door. Pull the manifold rack out of the chamber and onto the chamber door. Remove the debris screen and always clean it while it is still wet, before the debris dries. Brush the screen to detach the dirt. Then rinse it under running water and reinstall it in the sump. Press firmly into place and, when finished, roll the rack back inside the chamber and close the chamber load door. Once per week, wipe all surfaces inside and outside of the water outlet connection of the chamber sump. The inner surface of the port within the chamber sump must also be wiped. Once per week, clean the unit's exterior with a general-purpose, non-abrasive cleaner to keep it looking like new. Use a damp cloth or sponge. Apply the cleaner and rub in the same direction as the surface grain. Thoroughly wipe off the cleaner and polish the surface with a clean, dry, lint-free cloth. Clean the chamber interior with a moderately alkaline detergent solution. Rinse thoroughly with tap water and dry with a lint-free cloth. Use the same process as you used for the exterior. Once per week, it is important to perform the decontamination of the equipment. Use the decontam cycle for this purpose. Your supervisor will schedule this step and review specific instructions. Cleaning chemistry products need replacement on occasion. STERIS recommends Prolistica 2x concentrate chemistries be used with the AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector. If a chemical product is low or has run out, first, wear the appropriate personal protective equipment. Then, remove the pickup tube and low-level sensor from the empty container. Install a new container, making sure to match the color of the pickup tube with the label on the container. Then, place the pickup tube with the attached low-level sensor upright in the new container of cleaning chemistry. If your washer is equipped with an optional printer, you will have to replace the paper roll. Whenever a colored stripe is visible on one or both edges of the printout paper, or the blue indicator light illuminates, it is time to change the paper roll. Reference your operator manual section 6.9 for specific instructions on how to do this. In addition to routine maintenance, regularly scheduled preventive maintenance is essential for ensuring peak performance and avoiding unscheduled downtime. Certain preventive maintenance activities must be done by a STERIS service technician or a STERIS-trained service technician in your facility. These activities include HEPA filter verification and replacement, squeeze tube verification, chemical injection pump verification, and inspecting and cleaning the rotary spray arm assemblies. To schedule a maintenance appointment with a STERIS service technician, call 800-333-8828. As the pace of the healthcare environment increases, so do the demands on your reprocessing area. Our professional field service technicians are available 24/7 to resolve any maintenance issues that may occur. STERIS also offers 4 on-site preventive maintenance programs. These programs are designed to help ensure your equipment will operate according to factory specifications and to protect your capital investment. Ask your STERIS representative for details on these valuable programs. Let's review what we've learned in this segment. Performing routine maintenance keeps your AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector operating properly. Replenish chemicals and printer paper as needed. Some maintenance activities must be performed by a qualified technician. STERIS service technicians are available 24/7. STERIS's valuable preventive maintenance programs to help you save time and money. This concludes the training program for the AMSCO 2500 washer disinfector. For more information about the presentation you've just seen, or to order supplies or accessories, visit steris.com or contact your STERIS account representative.